This exercise is sometimes called pendulation, and it's a form of mindfulness, a mindfulness meditation, which comes in the form of being present and really over time strengthening the abilities of the body-mind system to just simply notice and be present and grounded in whatever is happening in any given moment. This also really helps what is sometimes referred to as self-regulation, which is really just a helpful practice over the course of our lives to do in moments where we're feeling maybe a little bit more calm and present. And so whenever we do happen to face more stressful situations, we've already kind of got the built-in skills to move through challenges a little bit more smoothly. Sometimes we can also, in stressful situations or moments, feel disconnected or dissociated. And so skills like this can really be helpful to find a neutral place to come back to inside of ourselves. This exercise is also helpful for those who might experience uncomfortable physical sensations, or really even challenging ones such as chronic pain or IBS and things like that. And as any skill, the more regular you are able to practice, the more effective and beneficial over time. So for today, let's just be curious and see if this meditation is something that aligns with you, you find enjoyable or helpful or not. But yeah, I invite you to be open-minded. This exercise is not about analysis, but it's a practice of being present and just being mindful without having to really seek to understand, but just simply to be. So I encourage you to try your best to be non-judgmental or analytical, to have a sense of maybe even playful curiosity, if you can get that far, but curiosity at best. Compassion and playful care as you experience the moment and observe how it gently moves and changes and transforms. If you at any time feel overactivated, then I invite you to, whenever you feel that way, if it's too much, to open your eyes and take a look around the room and feel specific fabrics or textures around you, the objects around you. Notice colors and patterns of things in the room that you're in, or the space or outdoors that you're in. And just to kind of bring you back down, continuing to breathe gently into your abdomen. And then if you're able and would like to continue, then you can close your eyes and do that and come back in. Or you can stop the exercise and take care of your needs in whatever way that looks like for you. So as we move to begin, I invite you to ideally do this practice in a place where you feel comfortable. So I would recommend, if you can, kind of lying on your bed or on a couch, ideally with no one around you, no distractions, phone off or on airplane mode. And really just being able to completely let go and relax physically. You can do this sitting, but again, ideally, if you're able to find a comfortable seat. And once you're able to find somewhere comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and really just start with finding your breath. First, just notice where you happen to be breathing. Is it sort of up in your chest area in the ribs? Or is it further down into the abdomen, if you're able to notice and tell? And if you're breathing into your chest, see if you can try to breathe into your belly nice and gently. If you're not able to, that's okay. I just invite you to try to breathe in as gentle as possible. And not taking full deep inhales and exhales, but also not too light. If you have any questions, about sort of how to breathe for exercises like this, feel free to ask me in session and we can talk more about that. Ideally, moving the breath over time, slowly into the belly. As you notice the breath, again, if you're able, bringing the breath in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth, if you're not congested. And kind of notice the quality of the air. Is there a temperature to it? Does it feel clean? Does it feel stuffy? Noticing it coming in and out of your body. And as you breathe, I invite you to kind of gently scan your body and find a sensation that feels, if you can, something that feels comfortable. And if you can't find anything comfortable, then that's okay. Just find a place that's neutral. So if you're able to find somewhere comfortable, it could be a cushion that you're being supported by, and where that meets your physical body. Could be a pleasant sensation, maybe in your stomach or in some relaxed muscles somewhere. It could be an emotion that comes up. But I want you to find that in the form of a physical sensation in your body if you can. And again, if you can't find something that feels good or comfortable, then finding a place that's neutral. So this could be a finger or a toe or your elbow, anywhere that feels neutral. I want you to sit with that sensation for a moment. And first, if you were to kind of put a gentle sort of location pinpoint, see if you can actually tell where the center point of this sensation would be. And again, we're just playing here, so it's okay if you don't feel that you can fully pinpoint anything. We're just kind of practicing and seeing if we're able to do it. And if not, that's okay. You can notice that too. And from the center point of this sensation, I invite you to see if you can actually notice the size or even shape of this sensation. So if you were to follow and expand out from the point, where would this sensation begin and end? If it had sort of borders, where would those land? Just take a moment to see if you can sense that. If you were to put a color or a pattern to this sensation, what comes up? And if you ever notice any images or memories come up, I encourage you at best to just allow them to be and really come back to the physical sensation. But it's okay to notice. You don't have to repress, just notice and then come back. There was a quality to the sensation. If you were to imagine a texture that you'd put to it, or let's say a weight, how heavy or light would it be? Would there be a word that you could use to describe the sensation? And as specific as possible is good. So maybe not saying judgmental words like good or bad, but is it thick or goopy or feathery or light? So could you get really specific? And again, if you can be playful, that's great. If not, that's okay. Good. Now I want you to kind of gently scan your body again, track around, and this time I want you to find a sensation that maybe feels a little bit uncomfortable. Ideally, we're not going too deep right now into something that is overwhelming. if that's possible, to gently avoid just for a moment. So kind of something that's on the edge a little bit of discomfort. So that could be, oh, the cushion's not quite in the right spot, or I have a little bit of pain in my knee from a walk I did yesterday. My jaw is a little bit tense and that feels uncomfortable, something like that. And same thing here with this sensation. I want you to, if you were to put sort of a location pinpoint on the center point of where you feel this sensation. And if you feel there are multiple, I want you to just choose one. If you were to follow this pinpoint outward, where does it begin and where does it end? If it was just sort of have a place where it's no longer felt inside the body, where would that sensation end inside? What color or patterns come up? If you were to visualize and put a color to this sensation, what would that be? And again, if any images come up, memories, just gently remind yourself that's okay. We're not here to analyze. You can just simply notice and come back to the physical sensation. And again, this time I want you to notice, is there a specific quality to the sensation? If you were to almost hand it over to someone or hold it in your hands, what would it feel like? If there was a temperature to the sensation, what would the temperature be? Hot, lukewarm, cold, anywhere in between? Good. Now I want you to gently sort of move and track back to the first sensation. I want you to find it again, if you can. If it's no longer there, you can't find it, then I want you to move to find another comfortable or at least neutral sensation. So wherever you've landed, I want you to find again a little location pinpoint and see if you could say, okay, this is where the center point or the beginning point of this sensation is, if you can. If you don't feel like you're able to do that, just still focus on the general area of where the sensation is coming from. And same thing now, where does this sensation begin and where does it end? Is it a flat sensation? Is it 3D? Have borders on all sides, all around it? Does it not have borders? Does it kind of slowly dissipate and fade? But again, where would it end completely, if anywhere? This time noticing if you were to put a color again to it or a pattern, what is it now? Noticing, has it changed in any way? Or is it the same? If you were to hold this sensation in your hands, what would the quality be? How would you describe it if you were to put a very specific word or two to describe the weight, the texture, the temperature? And again, trying not to analyze, just simply being, simply noticing. Good. Now I want you to gently track back to your uncomfortable sensation. And again, if this sensation has gone away, you can either stay in the same location and see what comes up, or find another uncomfortable sensation. And by now you might understand this time we're going to put a pinpoint here. Where is the center point or the beginning of this sensation? See if you can find it. And already, you might have started already to find the borders, the areas where the sensation actually stops and no longer is. See if you can is it contained somehow? Is there an area where it exists and an area where it no longer exists? And again, if this is feeling too complicated or you're not sure, that's okay. This is a practice. Just noticing any colors or textures that might come up. And the quality of this sensation. Is this sensation something that is easily, would you be able to easily pick it up in your hands? Does it feel stuck or sticky or heavy? And again, noticing if anything has shifted or changed from the first time that you were at your uncomfortable situation or sensation. Or if it stayed exactly the same. Just be with that. Now we're going to do this just a couple more times for today. I want you to track back again to that comfortable sensation or neutral. And once again, if this sensation has changed, go somewhere else. Find somewhere else that's comfortable. Is it your breath that's comfortable? Is it some muscle that feels really relaxed or soft, rested? And again, if you can't find somewhere comfortable, find somewhere neutral. It could be a fingertip. It could be your nose. And place your location pinpoint. See if you can find where this sensation really begins. Just playing around. See where it begins and ends. Kind of find your shape, your borders. Really notice any color or texture or images that might come up. Be with them, just noticing them, acknowledging them, not judging them or analyzing. And again, if you were to pick up this sensation, what would it feel like? What would it feel like if you were to sort of sense it almost with your hands? Being as specific as possible. Good. And now I want you to track back to that first uncomfortable sensation. Kind of notice again, where would you put your pinpoint if you were to find the beginning point of this sensation and notice, is it exactly the same place? Or has it changed or moved in any way? Where are its borders? And what color is it? And what texture is it now? If you were to try to throw it up in the air, what would it do? How would it land? Where would it go? Can you even throw it up in the air? Good. Now I want you to track back to the feeling of your breath coming in and out. Again, noticing the quality of the air, not judging, but just noticing. If you were to put a color to the air coming in and a color to the air going out, what comes up? Good. And if the color in any way is something that doesn't feel so nice, I invite you to actually, for this one, maybe gently imagine the air in a color that you like. Something pretty or something beautiful, and imagine that coming in with lightness, in and out. In through your nose or mouth, into your belly and out again. I invite you to, if you haven't already, sort of gently wiggle a little bit or rotate your wrists and your ankles, kind of maybe gently roll your shoulders back. When you're ready, open your eyes and just take a look around the room. Just noticing now specific color or pattern, textures of things around you. Looking from one side over your shoulder to something specific, maybe something you haven't noticed in a while, something new if you're in a new space, and over to the other shoulder, and same thing on the other side. Good. Good, and now you're back in the present moment, and you can go on with your day.